Ain't no way they just did that. BMF Season 4 Episode 5 had me locked in from start to finish. This episode didn't just move pieces, it flipped the whole board. If you thought last week was wild, this one went 10 steps deeper. Episode 5 wasted no time. From the first scene, things got tense. Meech is moving different now. He's not just trying to survive, he's trying to build something untouchable. He's got his eyes on expansion again, and this time, it's not just about Detroit or Atlanta, it's bigger than that. There was a serious conversation early on that showed us Meech is no longer playing small. He's thinking like a king now. He's making high-stakes moves, talking to powerful people, and starting to rub shoulders with a new class of players. But with that, the pressure is growing, and the risks are multiplying. Terry, on the other hand, is slipping deeper into the mess. He's got one foot in the game, and the other foot trying to hold down the family. But you can see it's getting to him. There's this one scene where Terry has to make a call, and it's clear he's not sure if he's doing the right thing anymore. He's torn. Loyalty to his brother is strong, but the weight of the streets is starting to break him down. He's moving shaky. And in the BMF world, hesitation gets you here or worse. Then we got the wild card Lamar. Even when he ain't in the room, his shadow hangs over everything. In this episode, we don't see him up close much, but his presence still loud. People are still scared. His past actions keep echoing through the crew, and nobody can relax. The tension in the crew is thick. No one knows when the next explosion is coming or from who. One of the biggest moments in this episode was the surprise setup that went completely left. Without spoiling too much, just know this: somebody got too comfortable. There's a fake sense of peace in the air for a few scenes, but then boom, everything changes. There's betrayal in the air. One moment you think everything's cool, and then a gunshot rings out. It's that fast. You could feel it building, but when it happened, still shocking. Another highlight. The police are getting smarter. They're not just chasing anymore, they're investigating with real strategy. There's a scene where the feds lay out everything they know, and it's getting way too close for comfort. They're connecting dots, watching moves, tapping phones. They know way more than they're letting on, and it's clear Meech and Terry's time is running out unless they make a major pivot soon. And finally, the episode ends on a heavy cliffhanger. It's not loud, not explosive, but it's chilling. One character says something that sounds small at first, but you sit with it and realize this changes everything. A slow burn moment, but one that promises the next episode is about to hit even harder. This episode was packed. It gave us drama, betrayal, pressure, and setup all in one. You can feel we're getting closer to the boiling point. Every move matters now. Every character feels like they're walking on a wire. And the smallest mistake could bring it all crashing down. Yo, can we talk about how everybody in this episode was moving like they had nothing to lose? Like seriously, nobody played it safe, and it shows. This ain't just street-level hustle anymore. This is survival at the top. This episode felt personal. Every decision was emotional, not just strategic. Meech's really stepping into that boss mentality, but not without pressure. When he checked that one dude in the warehouse scene, that wasn't just about business, that was personal. You could see it in his face. He's tired of people playing with his name. He's building something bigger, and he's not about to let anyone slow him down. Respect isn't optional anymore. You either fall in line or you get moved out the way. Terry though, man, he's cracking. I'm not even gonna lie, his energy this episode had me on edge. One second, he's being the level-headed one, and the next he's making decisions off emotion. That move he made with the girl. Messy, I get it, he wants something real, something outside all this. But he's trying to live two lives, and the walls are closing in. That scene with his mom's heavy. You could feel the weight on him, but he's not handling it well. I wouldn't be surprised if he ends up causing the kind of damage that can't be cleaned up. Now. Let's talk about that setup. Yo, I knew something felt off. The energy in that scene was too calm. BMF never gives us peace without pain, right? And just like clockwork, boom. Betrayal hit like a punch to the gut. Somebody folded. Somebody talked. I won't say names, but if you watched, you know exactly who I'm talking about. That moment right there. That's when the whole vibe of the episode flipped. Nobody's safe now. Nobody. And the tension between the crews. Man, it's like watching a powder keg with a lit match sitting right next to it. One wrong move, one bad look, and the whole thing's going up in flames. You can feel the distrust growing. Even folks on the same side are questioning each other. There's no loyalty without fear anymore, and that's dangerous. Asterisk, the best part of the episode might have been what wasn't said. It's in the looks, the silences, the way characters pause before answering questions. That's smart writing. You can see who's faking, who's scared, and who's about to switch sides without them saying a word. The streets are loud, but the real danger is always quiet. Asterisk, oh, and let's not forget the feds. They didn't even need to be in every scene, just the way they're showing up, watching from the sidelines, stacking evidence. It's terrifying. It's like a slow storm building in the background, and Meech don't even see the full picture yet. But we do. And that's what makes it so cold. You're watching a trap form right under his feet. Asterisk, bottom line. This episode wasn't just about action, it was about mood. Every character is on edge, and every scene carries weight. Nothing feels random anymore. Everything is connected, and everything is personal. That's what makes it so dangerous. Sometimes it's not about who's winning the game, it's about who understands the rules better. And in episode 5, the rules are changing fast. Respect don't mean loyalty, and power don't mean safety. This episode wasn't just telling a story, it was exposing the cost of survival. Let's break it down. The theme that stood out most this episode: power versus control. Meech has power, no doubt. People follow him, they salute him, but what's becoming clear is that he doesn't fully control the world around him anymore. He's expanding fast, but every move is pulling more heat, more risk, and more snakes into the mix. When you grow, you don't just rise, you expose. Meech is learning that the bigger the empire, the easier it is to hide enemies inside it. Asterisk, but what's wild is how calm Meech is through all of it. That calm ain't weakness, it's calculation. He's 3 steps ahead, but still bleeding from every direction. And the more we see him take on that leadership role, the more we see how alone he's becoming. That's another theme, isolation at the top. Meech can't trust like he used to. Every new partner, every new favor, every new soldier, it's a possible threat. Bosses don't just fight enemies. They manage doubt. Asterisk, now, Terry. Terry's giving us something completely different. His whole arc is screaming one thing: the price of dual loyalty. He wants to be there for his family. He wants love, peace, maybe even a way out. But the streets won't let him go clean. Not when his name's already written in the dirt. He's trying to balance his brother, his parents, his girl, and the crew on. He's failing. You can see the guilt building. Every episode, his face gets heavier. His tone gets more uncertain. It's the classic trap. He wants out, but he's already in too deep. And now, he's starting to make moves that put everyone at risk, including Meech. Asterisk, another thing that hit hard this episode: the silence between brothers. You notice that Meech and Terry are talking less, but their eyes say everything. There's unspoken tension. They don't fully trust each other right now, not in a hateful way, but in a you might ruin this whole thing kind of way. That moment when Meech gives Terry that long look after the warehouse meet. That wasn't just about business, it was about doubt. You can feel the split coming, and when it happens, it won't be loud. It'll be quiet, cold, and permanent. Asterisk, and now let's talk about the side characters, because that's where a lot of subtle moves are happening. Asterisk, canines, people are watching, not always talking, but always present. That means something. Asterisk, Detective Bryant's pressure is creeping back in, not just legally, but emotionally. That scene where he shows up without backup, that's personal. He's not just chasing Meech, he's trying to prove something to the Force. To himself, maybe to his son. Asterisk, and then there's Goldie. She's smart, strategic, and playing her position, but she's not playing for free. Her scenes show us that alliances are shifting fast, and anyone who's helping Meech wants something in return. Nobody's giving favors anymore. Asterisk, all these characters are circling one core theme: loyalty with limits. People are loyal until it costs too much. This episode showed how thin those lines really are. You can ride with someone for years, but when survival's on the line, that ride ends quick. Asterisk, this ain't about who's the toughest, it's about who can adapt, who can hold their own without breaking down. And right now, even the strongest characters are cracking at the edges. Every empire falls the same way, not from the outside, but from the cracks within. And after episode 5, you can feel those cracks forming. Slow, silent, but deadly. The cliffhanger didn't scream. It whispered. And what it whispered was this: somebody about to flip. Let's talk about it. That final moment. The one-liner that seemed harmless. Nah, that wasn't throwaway dialogue. That was a signal. Somebody's watching. Somebody's done being loyal. Somebody's playing both sides. And next episode, that quiet move could explode into a full-blown betrayal. You know how BMF builds these cliffhangers. They give you just enough to guess, but never enough to be sure. This ain't random. That line was the beginning of somebody's end. Asterisk. So what's next for Meech? Truth is, he's about to be tested like never before. He's expanding fast, maybe too fast. Episode 5 showed us that his enemies ain't just on the street anymore. Now it's political. Now it's federal. Now it's internal. The wolves are at the door, but the rats are already inside. The question isn't if someone's gonna turn on him, it's when. And Meech. He knows it. That last look he gave, after the setup. That was a man realizing the circle might be smaller. Then he thought. Asterisk. Terry's arc is headed for something messy. He's too split. You can't half love the game. And you can't half quit either. He's caught between his blood and his conscience. And when it all goes down, he's gonna have to choose. Does he protect the family or the business? And let's be honest, lately, his choice's been shaky. That slip-up with the girl. That's not over. That's gonna come back around. Could be through a snitch. Could be through the cops. But it's coming. Asterisk. And speaking of the feds, they're getting bold now. No more lurking. They're about to start pulling strings in broad daylight. I wouldn't be surprised if next episode, someone close to BMF starts acting different, sweating more, talking less, avoiding eye contact. We've seen this before. That undercover pressure. It's slow at first, then it hits fast. My guess, a familiar face is about to flip and feed the feds info from the inside. Real damage always comes from someone you trusted too much. Asterisk. Let's not forget the other players either. Goldie, she's moving smart, but she's not doing charity work. Her loyalty is based on business, not blood. If the money dries up or the heat gets too hot, she's gone. And K9's crew, they've been too quiet. That's never a good sign. In this show, quiet means planning. Quiet means patience. And patience means they're waiting for the perfect moment to strike. We might see a full-blown shift in alliances soon, and I don't think Meech sees it coming. Asterisk. So where does that leave us? Asterisk. Next episode could go in any direction. But here's what feels certain. Someone from the inside is going to flip or die. Meech will be forced to cut someone off, even if it hurts. Asterisk. Terry's personal life is about to become a professional problem. Asterisk. And the feds. They're about to make their first real move. The kind that changes everything. Asterisk. The pieces are on the board now. This ain't about who has the most power. It's about who survives the pressure. Asterisk. And right now. That pressure's just starting to boil. Asterisk. And that's it for my quick thoughts on BMF Season 4 Episode 5. But yo, I already know I missed something, because this episode was loaded. Asterisk. This week's episode didn't just tell a story, it dropped warning signs. Power moves, emotional pressure, and a cliffhanger that's definitely gonna spark something big next week. And that's what makes BMF special. It's not just about what you see. It's about what's brewing underneath. Every scene's connected. Every silence means something. And every choice, it's gonna cost someone. Asterisk. But now it's your turn. I need to hear from you in the comments. Asterisk. Who do you think is about to switch sides? Asterisk. Can Meech hold it all together, or is the crew already falling apart from the inside? Asterisk. Is Terry even built for this anymore, or is he the next weak link? Asterisk. Drop your thoughts, theories, predictions, even your frustrations. Let's talk about it. I read every comment. And I'll be responding to the best takes. Asterisk. If you're feeling this breakdown and want more BMF content every week, hit that like button. It helps the channel more than you know. And if you're new here, or just been lurking for a minute, go ahead and subscribe. I drop fast recaps, quick reactions, and real talk about the entire BMF universe as it happens. No drawn-out fluff, just raw analysis. Straight from a fan who's locked in like you. Asterisk. And if you're still watching, salute to you. Real ones, stay to the end. Respect. Asterisk. Episode 6. Yeah, that one's gonna change everything. See y'all next time.